Alright, what's up YouTube? We back at it again with another video. This time I wanted to do a roster prediction on who's returning to Virtua Fighter 6. Originally I did this video like last stream, and I had three categories. I had returning to VF6, returning as NPC, and not returning to VF6. But shortly after, like literally a day after, an interview came out with Yamada on IGN where he said during the game you'll meet all of the old characters. They won't always be allies, they might be enemies. It goes back and forth, so maybe not Cielo, maybe other people. You might learn from Pi, or you might not. You might learn from other characters. It's really something to look forward to when you play. Sounds really cool, right? But then that means I gotta do my predictions all over again. So let's do it all over again. Also, shout out to my teammate Dark Nova. He put out his roster prediction recently. He's one of the best Sarah players in North America. He went very in depth in his video, included things like DLC and guest characters. So go check that out after this video. Alright, so for this new list, I'm just going to have two categories. We're going to have returning as playable and returning as NPC, like in story mode. So first up, Akira. We already know he's returning as playable. He was in the first trailer. He's also in the restaurant scene. If you look closely in the back, he's being served. He's at a table. Pi, aka Madam Sue. We already know she's in the game. She's been in the story trailer and in the Bakunawa killer trailer. Also, she's in the gameplay trailer. She's looking really cool. Her dad, Lao-chan. Lao's very old and very sick. I don't think he's going to be fighting in this new game. Wolf, definitely playable. He was in the gameplay trailer and he has his own character trailer. Jeffrey, I think he'll be returning as NPC. If you saw one of the screenshots for the Crossroads mode, I think it's the mission select. He has a side quest that kind of makes me think he's just going to be a NPC in the story. Honestly, I think he's going to be replaced by one of the newer Crossroads characters, the guy with the scar on his forehead. They both have kind of similar backstories, fighting wild animals probably, so he seems very Jeffrey coded. I think he's going to replace Jeffrey. Kage, I believe we saw a picture of him in the end of the Crossroads showcase. They were drawing like a ninja like character, or they're working on a ninja face model, something like that. Either that's going to be a henchman in Crossroads mode, but I believe it's going to be Kage. Now Sarah is not Stella. They made that very clear in a bunch of the interviews, so that makes me think she's probably going to be a NPC. Also, Stella doesn't look like an older Sarah. A lot of the characters have aged, and I don't know. I think Sarah's going to be an NPC. We'll let Stella have her place on the roster. If anything, they'll have Sarah as a skin for Stella. So, you know, if you want to be Sarah, you can probably use her as a skin. But as a character, I think she'll be an NPC. Jackie Bryant, her brother, he was in the mural. That beautiful animated mural. Shout out to who made that intro. I think he'll be returning as playable. He's kind of the Ken to Akira's Ryu. It only seems right. Alright, Shun. I think Shun will be returning as an NPC. I believe he's just a little too old to fight. Unless he found some magical elixir that allows him to live longer, give him more longevity. He has a longevity elixir. I don't believe he's going to be fighting in Virtua Fighter 6. Now Leon, I think Leon will be returning as playable. We saw a glimpse of someone that looked exactly like Leon in the Cielo story trailer. Let me see if I can find it. So this guy right here, he's got the exact same face and facial features. He's very young in Virtua Fighter 5, I believe, so if they're doing the whole age progression thing, I think his face looks appropriate. Plus he's rich. He's probably using all sorts of expensive facial creams, skincare. He looks very moisturized and well kept. Aoi, I think Aoi will be returning as an NPC. I think the fourth character that was introduced in Crossroads, the woman in the suit, I think she'll be the new kind of parry character, since Aoi does Aikido or Aiki Jujitsu is what they called it. I don't quite remember, but Aoi is like the parry character, so I believe that new character might be replacing her. Alright, Lei Fei, my favorite character. This is a person I use in Virtua Fighter. I believe he will be returning as the Bakunawa killer. So we're going to put him as playable. Check out my previous video on my channel as to why. I do a little moveset comparison, showing kind of my reasoning and all that stuff. So go check that out as well. Alright, Vanessa. A lot of people think Cielo is replacing Vanessa because Cielo has the Superman punch, he has the mount, he has a punch string that reminds people of Vanessa's VF4 punch strings or something like that. They think that Cielo took a lot of Vanessa's moves and might be replacing her. I don't think those animations quite match up. The Superman punch looks different. Also, other characters in the game have Superman punches. Eileen has a Superman punch. Also, the mount looks different. Vanessa kind of shoots herself at you, while Cielo has a different looking kind of mount. Also, Vanessa's a sort of a fan favorite. I think she'll be either returning as playable or returning as a DLC. Now, Brad is kind of a different story. He's the kickboxer of the game, but now Cielo is the kickboxer. I think Cielo might be replacing Brad instead of Vanessa. I just don't see there being two kickboxers in the game. Now Go, shout out to Go. I'm actually wearing him on my shirt. Shout out to VF Hayato, the one who made the shirt. I think he'll be probably returning as NPC. He originally worked for J6, Judgment 6, the original organizers of the Virtua Fighter tournament, and his role was the assassin, but he didn't assassinate anybody, so he might be fired. I think he might be out of here, and they're gonna replace him with a different judo fighter. Now Eileen, I think she'll be returning as playable. Since she's very young in Virtua Fighter 5, all they would have to do is just make her older, put her in the game. Also, her fighting style is very unique. It's monkey kung fu. I think that's something really special that they would want to keep in the game. El Blaze, I think he's returning as an NPC. If you paid attention to the Wolf trailer, I believe Wolf has one of Blaze's moves, 4-6K plus G, I believe it is. The high kick into the follow-up. That's one of Blaze's moves. So I think they might have combined both characters, or just gave some of Blaze's moves to Wolf, and then they're gonna put Blaze in the backseat. Maybe replace him with someone else, so there can be two grapplers, two wrestlers, but I'm not sure. I think they're gonna replace Blaze. Now Taka, I would want Taka in the game. I think Taka's really cool. He's one of my favorite sumo characters in fighting games. Like out of all the sumos, Taka's probably my favorite one. But he is, like, if we look at the character pool, he is one of the least popular characters. Got voted one of the least popular characters, 1.9%. And he got nerfed to the ground, or, you know, nerfed to the ground. He can still kill you in like 3 throws and ring you out from like half screen, but they nerfed him a lot. I think they might be phasing him out and replace him with someone else. So I think he's gonna be returning as NPC. Now Jean is Leon's best friend, so I think they're gonna sort of keep that relationship in the game. I do kind of speculate if the guy next to Leon in the story trailer is Jean. So if you look up here in the stands, this guy next to Leon. He does look a little bit older, but that might just be because he has facial hair and he's less moisturized. It's not as rich as Leon. He can't afford the same skincare, so this could be a revamped Jean character, or this could be, you know, a new karate character, something like that. But I think this guy might be revamped Jean. I know it's kind of a stretch. And then the boss of the game, the Raw. So unless like the new boss is supposed to be, like, if we check out VillaFightFest.com, the website made exclusively for Virtua Fighter. So unless President Diego Bato is like the new boss of the game, he's the one organizing it so he can collect everyone's fight data and then put it in his brain or something like that, which is kind of the whole concept behind the Raw. They have the tournament, collect information from all the fighters, put it into the Raw, and make like a super soldier. So unless they're doing that, I think the Raw will be playable in the game. She's very iconic. She's been in every Virtua Fighter game so far. I don't think they're gonna get rid of her yet. And yeah, that's my list. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Subscribe. Let me know your opinions. Do you agree, disagree? Yeah, let me know. And we out. Thanks for watching.